Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Rebuilding Stockport. It's a brand new week, well for me anyway, obviously you've seen an episode on Monday, and a brand new day. And we're on the page of Morgan Roussel. Some guys said they wanted to see them, so here he is. I love this guy. And honestly, like, as much as we've had players at this club that have done amazing things, to me, there's something special about Morgan Roussel because he has, I genuinely think, of all the players that we've got on this team, he is the one that has the highest potential ceiling. Because he's still only 20. He's at 4.5 stars in this team. He's still only 20. The fact, and this guy, remember, he cost us £5 million. He is our highest earner at the club now, well, matched by Jamie Lane, unfortunately. But what an absolute lad this guy is. 6 foot tall. He's still only 20. He's got 5 caps for France now as well. I'm amazed he doesn't have more, in all honesty. He is a truly fantastic defender, and he's just got better and better and better. And long may it continue. I feel like this is the kind of guy that could definitely be at the heart of a defence that could win us the Champions League one day, and I really hope he stays, because I hope that our rep is going up enough that he won't want to leave now that we're a Champions League club that have won trophies and are actually challenging for stuff, and that's definitely helped us keep players, I think, apart from Pedro, but Now, since it is the start of the week, it is time to thank new patrons, and this week it is Kapaya and Aleris, so thank you to both of you, that is freaking awesome, and to everyone else over there as well. The merch stuff is still coming along quite nicely at the moment, and of course, one of the patron perks is actually to get some discounts from the merch when I actually do release it, if you are interested in that. When I do get it made, I'll show you guys, so you can maybe choose some stuff. I'll also maybe put out a survey so I can get some sort of a ideas in terms of numbers and whatnot. That way we can, because I want to handle the distribution myself, that way I can keep the prices down for you guys, because I think that's the most important thing. I want to give you some good quality merch, but also at a reasonable price, basically. I'm sorry, mate, but Jamie Lane looks like a bloody demon. Hey, don't have to apologise to me. You've got to apologise to Jamie for your cutting words. Jamie Lane, a 30-yard free kick with a wall and a keeper to beat? No problem. A 12-yard penalty with just a keeper to beat? Nah, let's crap the bed, it's far too difficult. I'll tell you what we're missing. Maybe we need to put a wall in for his penalties. Maybe if we were getting indirect free kicks in the penalty area, he'd be smashing them in. Yeah, that is a strange one. I know people keep saying, I'll take him off for penalties. I'm trying to prove a point, and I know that, you know, that's cutting off your nose to spite your face, but I genuinely want to see how bad it can get, because that to me is an issue. In all honesty, occasionally there are anomalies, but then what do stats mean if they're not actually having an effect? However, this episode right now and the games I've played off camera are the first games I've played on the new 13.3 patch. Everything else you've seen was played before that, so it's very important to note that. I'll tell you my thoughts on the patch, but I'll show you the games off camera first so we can come back and quickly discuss that. But do let me know. Here you go. Question of the day. What do you guys think of the new patch? 19.3. Let me know in the comments what you guys have thought of it. Anything you've noticed that are different. Anything that you noticed that are good, bad, indifferent, all that sort of stuff. Do let me know in the comments. I'll be very, very interested to hear about that, just so I can see if it compares to my own experience with it so far. Ooh, I like the history profile thing. Maybe you can showcase once a week or fortnight one interesting non-Stockport player and how he came to be. Yeah, actually that is quite an interesting one. It's just hard for me to find the players. So, with that in mind, if you see any players that you go, ooh, he seems kind of interesting, maybe cool name, or he must be a regen, or he's done really well, or you know something, tell me and I'll show him at the start of an episode as well. Of course, if you want to see any other Stockport players, do let me know as well. So yeah, I will definitely do that. Right then, games off camera, and today we're playing Manchester City in the derby. It's the big one. It's the first time we've done a single live com in what feels like a week. So, our first game on the new patch, and I was honestly over the moon at this point. I've got to say, 4-0 at home to Aston Villa. We dominated the ball, which was something I've noticed. You can keep more possession a bit easier, it seems, with the new patch, with working the ball into the box, which I've switched back on, having noticed just how much ball we kept against Villa. Dominate. They had one shot in the entire match, and honestly, it probably could have gone in, because let's face it, it's the way we are. Abasolo gave us the lead. David Mello scored 2 goals, and Liam Miller scored a penalty. Jamie Lane wasn't on the pitch, so Miller's 2 for 2 this season, and this Jamie Lane, what, 2 for 7 for 2 for 7? Something like that. But we looked fantastic, in all honesty. The thing is, though, I noticed that long shots look a little bit more OP, because both of David Mello's goals in this game were long-range screamers, and I thought, oh, God. Because they had a screen, too, and that's what irked me a little bit. I was like, how are these going in? I haven't seen much of it since then, so I think it was just this game, which is fine. In that case, I'm prepared to say well done, David Mello, but 4-0 over Villa is really, really strong. We actually went 8 points clear at the top of the league with this. Unfortunately, away at Everton, it was a bit of a poor game. We took the lead through Kevin Wright. We were still probably just about... I mean, it was a fairly even game. They had 2 shots on target and they scored one of them, but they created some good chances. Their goal was a bit soft. The ball was flipped into the box. Vlasic won a header, but the ball just sort of trickled past the keeper. It wasn't a powerful header, but hey, what can you do? We weren't that great in this game. We committed a lot of fouls too, but a point away at 7th place Everton isn't the end of the world, and before I would have probably taken that. We then followed that up by losing 1-0 at home to Man United. It's a bit disappointing again. Like, you'll notice here we had an awful lot of shots, but not a lot on target. And the problem is, we didn't have that many shots from range in this game, if I remember correctly. So we had 9, which is a reasonable amount, you'd say, but that still means we had 15 shots that weren't from range. So to me, it would suddenly starting to not hit the target very much. But I still think we're a bit unfortunate to lose this game. We actually created some reasonable chances in this one, but it just wasn't to be. And we went down 1-0 at home to Man United, which of course meant they pulled the gap on us back massively. I would have loved a draw just so we didn't lose ground. And then next up, it was just a case of, this is getting a bit silly now. Away at Porto. Now, again, we drew to at home to Porto, so it's like a draw against Porto isn't really the end of the world, again, because we're already through. But it's the fact that we had 31 shots in this game, 12 of which were on target. Look at the possession as well. And they basically did nothing in the entire game except for create one chance towards the end, bam, goal. And to me, and again, I don't think we had that many shots from range. Only 6 long shots in this game, which means there was 25 shots from in and around the penalty area. And we're just suddenly not hitting the target anymore. And then it was a kind of similar story again away at Wolves. Took the lead through Jamie Lane early on. This is the first goal since the new patch that we scored that looked like one of our old goals, where Abasolo cuts inside, slips it into the channel, Jamie Lane scores. They equalise through Daniel Arzani, which was a bit of a shame, but there you go. But again, not hitting the target enough with our shots. And again, it wasn't like we had loads of long ranges, I don't think. 5 in this one, so still 15 shots from reasonable distances. So, thoughts on the patch. Long shots, I don't think they are change. I think we just got completely lucky with 2 long ones in that, because I haven't seen any since then, I don't think. The wingers don't seem to behave in the same way, in that, I don't know, Abasolo doesn't seem to actually go past or go into the right spaces anymore, which means that we're not getting as many dangerous crosses in, which of course is leading to Jamie Lane not getting on the end of anything, and he's been kind of muted this period basically, so that's an issue. But the main issue for me that I've suddenly noticed is that we have work ball into the box back on, and players are just not hitting the target with shots anymore. It's not even like they're being saved or blocked. This is the thing. I thought they might have been being blocked, but they're not. A few of them are, but most of them aren't. They're just missing the target entirely, which is an interesting one. I don't know how this compares to before, but to me, there seems to be a drastic increase in the ratio of shots on target, or decus rather, shots on target to total shots. We're having more shots, but less on target overall as well. So that's kind of interesting. Particularly, I thought maybe turning the tempo down, but then I also figured maybe we could try turning the tempo up. I don't really know. And at this point, I don't have enough data to really make a decision on that. So what I'm going to do is I've got to record 2 episodes today, and we're just going to play them. I'll make changes on the fly perhaps if I see something, but tomorrow I might have to do a proper analysis like we did before, go through and look at exactly where these shots are coming from, and maybe try and figure out why the shots are going wide. If there is a reason. Maybe it's because they're shooting from just far enough out for it to be a difficult situation, but not far enough out for it to count as a long shot, perhaps. I don't know. So we'll definitely have to take a look at that. And I advise you to do the same as well before, again, throwing your toys out the pram and complaining about the patch, because I always tend to look at things as like, right, the patch has changed things, definitely, but we can then change things too. So there's always a way to make things work for you, and we might just have to take a little while to do that. And that might mean that we don't win the title this year, but I'd rather do that and then complain all the time, you know? It's a piece of fun after all. Anyway, I'll show you the league, particularly as we are still top. We've lost the gap a little bit though, and we obviously have had our first defeat, but still, we've only lost 1 game in our first 18 in the league, which is pretty damn good. Now, obviously, it's fair to note that since the patch, we've had 4 Premier League games. We've won 1, drawn 2, and lost 1. So the form has definitely dropped, but we've been playing better teams. In that period, we played Villa, which we won. We lost to Man United, who were 2nd. We drew with Wolves and Everton, who were 8th and 9th, but were 7th and 8th, respectively. And they were both away from home as well. So I need more data, basically. Abasolo, top assister with 9 in the league, though. He has really stepped it up on that side. And Bednar, great average rating as well. Our left-backs are having a field day at the moment. And I think that is helping. And I suppose you're probably wondering who we got in the Champions League. I literally just looked at my notes and realised I hadn't told you. We're playing Dortmund. We are playing Dortmund. That feels like a tough one because Stuttgart were in there too, and I would have loved to have played Stuttgart again because I know we could beat them. Right, so today is Manchester City. City down in 7th. Now, someone said, you know, maybe the fact that Chelsea won the league last year because they weren't in Europe. Well, City aren't in Europe this year, and they're still not looking all that convincing. They're better, and I suppose in a way, they're only 2 points off of 2nd. Fortunately, we are carrying a few injuries and knocks and whatnot, which is a shame, but we're just going to have to make do. Thankfully, both of us can come back in, so it's no big deal. Correa, or do I want... No, we can't use John Okoro, can we? So it's going to have to be Felix Correa today, which is a shame. Abasola being suspended. Why did it do that? It is a bad thing to have happen, but what can you do? Right lane, Correa, Staiku. I might just call him Liv from now on. Slawi, Bofa, Bednar, Roussel, Gardog, Martinez, and of course, Negoita. So yeah, as you can see, the one change I've made is I've turned work ball in the box back on. The other option I'm thinking, because I was thinking if our shots are getting blocked, it might be because we're taking too long to get the shots away. So if we are to up the tempo, we might actually be able to get the shots in. But that might also mean we miss them because they're rushing the chances. I don't know. It's an interesting one that I'll definitely have to take a look at, but we'll see how we go today. The other idea perhaps is to be more expressive, to create better chances that are a bit more unorthodox perhaps. Slawi's wanted by Barcelona too. Right, okay, so sort the bench out. Greg Stubbs obviously coming onto the bench. I will sort out a face for him. I feel like he's earned it. Yeah, probably go with that. So Stubbsy, Maya, Akwebu, Bisa, Makengo, Mello, and Miller. Ooh, Miller. Similar kind of system to what we're used to, I think, from them. Interesting, no designated playmakers, but Villa played this type of style against us, I think it was. So, oh no, they had 2 DMs, but still, I think that should allow us to keep a bit of the ball. Maybe my sample size was just too small, and that's why I don't like to make knee-jerk reactions to this kind of thing and change everything when a tiny little thing doesn't go right for like 1 or 2 games. I want to see this over like 10 games to see how we're really doing. Right then, something I have noticed though is when you tell them an instruction from kickoff, it doesn't do anything anymore. Like the first one you use just doesn't seem to do anything at all. The players will have no reaction whatsoever. As you can see here, get creative, nothing. Martinez. Oh, that's another thing. They have definitely worked on the long throws, and I'm glad for that. That's a definite positive. The defenders are far more sensible with the way that they play. Oh, Lane! There we go. Okay, that was actually a good piece of play from us there, and Jamie Lane has scored, and we lead in the derby, which is bloody fantastic. But the key thing about it is with a long throw now, the defenders don't just stand there in the same way that they did before. They're a lot more intelligent. So, they're actually trying to mark up people, although Jamie Lane has still managed to find himself completely unmarked. Lovely ball from Martinez, to be fair. Lane does well, and that is glorious. Guard dog. Roussel. Being 1-0 up in this game at the moment is pleasing. Staiku. Outwipe for Bednar again. Whips it across, and Correa! It's 2-0 on 16 minutes. We've had 2 shots on target, and they've both gone in. This is... what a contrast to the previous game. This is very unlike us in this period, but we are looking good at the moment. This is actually very surprising to be honest. Lovely work from Sloughy to get that out wide. Bednar knows what to do in this situation. What a ball in. And Correa with a lovely left-footed volley. 2-0 over Manchester City. That's more like it, lads. Yes! Use the wide men. Martinez. Oh, also, they're spreading it wider much more effectively now. Bednar gets the ball away, but oh, it's 3rd goal! Felix Correa sneaking in there. Is that offside? It isn't. Stockport 3. I mean, I have no words. The fact that we've scored all 3 of our shots on target it goes in complete contrary to everything I've just said about this new patch, which is so strange. Jamie Lane, what about this for a pass, by the way? Dinks it through. Correa with a lovely finish. Oh my god, what a first half performance from Correa, and what a first half performance from us. 3-0. Make no mistake, we are fortunate to be 3-0 up in this game. I'll hold my hands up. We absolutely are. But since they've started holding on to the ball more, we've started committing more fouls. So I'm going to press them in the second half, particularly as we've got that lead now. So we're going to switch to a counter press. We're going to press more urgently, and we're going to engage with them a bit higher and get stuck in. Since we've got no bookings, I just want to see if that will allow us to get more goals in the second half. And maybe be more expressive with the creative side of things, since we're in a position where we can kind of do that now. I'm wondering if this is the type of game where, oh, hello, we're actually seeing a long throw. Right, Sloughy! Bloody hell, what a strike from Keradine Chowie. I nearly said Keradine Chowie. Abdurazak Sloughy, those of you who remember Chowie. What a strike that is. Kevin Wright with the assist, but wow, that is insane. Wright does a really nice job of... Oh, no, he doesn't at all, but this is a thunderbolt. What about that for a hit? We are incredibly lucky to be 4-0 up, I have to say. I'm going to turn off work ball in the box, just because we're not getting enough shots at all now, and I think maybe because we've not got enough possession. Oh, Lane's picked it up. Can we get a breakaway? His ball over the top, and Wright is onto it. Go on, Kevin. Get us a finish here. To be fair, that was a tough one. Can he find a ball? No, he can't. Sloughy. Back for Wright. Wright has got the pace in those positions to make something happen. He just couldn't quite do it. Like, we deserve the win in this match. I definitely believe that. But the scoreline is very, very flattering on us. Sloughy. Out wide for Correa, who's put in a stunning performance. He's going past his man. Can he whip across again? Lane? Oh, there's men on the edge here. He's got to find one of them. Sloughy. Out wide for Lane again. Cutting back across. He's got Wright. Wright's got Correa into the channel. Maybe he does. Correa's through. Can he throw a hat-trick? He can't, but Edison's there. This has been a really solid performance. Oh, guard dog back post. Martinez! Over the crossbar. Well, I mean, there we go. It's going to be Stockport 4, Manchester City 0. The clean sheet is very good. That is the biggest win we've had in this derby of all time, probably. 2 goals for Felix Correa, 1 for Jamie Lane, 1 for Sloughy. We got a lot better in the second half. We did deserve the win on the night. Take nothing away from that. Like, we really did roll through them in the second period of that match. But we were very fortunate to get in front in the way that we did, and we just held on to it since then, which is really nice. Josef Bisa came on, played like, 17 minutes and completed 0 passes. Jesus Christ, Joseph. What a win that is, my lord. That was massive. So our last 2 wins have actually been by 4 goals to 0. So this is the thing though, even in these other Premier League games, we still only conceded 1 goal in each of them. We just couldn't seem to find the net ourselves. That game was much, much more like it. Now, that might have just been because of the luck, but we still turned into some good opportunities in that game, and I think we definitely looked better. So I think the expressive option might be an option we could definitely go to. Working the ball into the box definitely worked at times, but letting them off the leash a little bit definitely helped as well. Really, really pleased with that result. Obviously, the home fans would have absolutely bloody loved that. Huge win, but now we've still got Chelsea and Leicester coming up next as well, so that's going to be tough. Next episode, I feel like a bit of a cheeky double live com wouldn't be a bad idea, but I still feel like we could maybe squeeze in 3 games off camera. So we'll do Chelsea, Leicester and Nottingham Forest in the FA Cup off camera. Come back and do West Ham and Bristol City. Another couple of... we've got a run of slightly easier games against here. So I think if we can get take 3 points from Leicester and Chelsea, not against each, like from one of those games, then I think we'll still be in a strong position coming into a run of slightly easier fixtures again. We're doing okay, you know. We're still top of the league, looking good. That win has filled me with so much more confidence in the way that we were playing. And it's definitely given me some ideas to work on, so we might not need to analyse as much as I thought we did, to be honest. So, if you enjoyed this episode, I hope you have. We just beat Manchester City 4-0 in the derby. That's going under the radar here, considering all the other stuff I've been thinking about. That is a massive win. So if you have enjoyed it, drop a like on the video. That'd be spectacular. It's not for me, just to push us up the YouTube algorithm. That's always fun, innit? And if you're new to the channel, of course, and you just found it, well, hey, subscribe. We don't always beat Manchester City 4-0, but sometimes we do. So, there you go. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.